All right, y'all. So we've done 2 or 3 out of the archive remastered series. There's probably some other ones that I can pull from way back. But for the sake of keeping the ball going, I wanted to show you one that's a little bit of a different realm. So there are some other ones that are distinctly some childhood processing situations, and I can go ahead and look back for those if you guys are interested in seeing more of those. There's only a few more, but for the sake of catching us up, I'd love to be able to show you the next one that was in this gallery. This one is not about childhood processing. This one was about me processing where I was at in life 3 years ago, like what I was trying to feel, what I was trying to let myself hear and in my own body, and what I just like was not getting. Like, I had this subconscious awareness that something was wrong, that I was not where I wanted to be, that I was feeling stuck, and I didn't know how to express it, and I didn't know 100% what I was feeling because it would come and go, and out of that came this. All right, I want to remind you that, like I said, all of these that I'm doing right now, there are a couple of things like that have been added or touched up. This is not completely finished rework version. I will take those pictures once we get them back from the gallery, but this is pretty darn close. We added some things to the flowers up top, but all right, so this one I titled Pre-Contemplation. In therapy, in social work, we talk about the stages of change. Okay, there's several stages of change, but essentially the idea is that there's pre-contemplation, contemplation, and then there is preparation, action, maintenance, and termination. And so when we speak with clients, we see clients, we often as clinicians will say the client is in this stage of change. This is saying they either do or do not recognize a problem. They either are or are not aware of wanting to work on it. They will or will not have done X step in this state of change. Okay. So as I mentioned, like when I was making this, I had the feeling. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know that something was wrong. I didn't know that there was action that needed to be taken. I didn't have anything other than kind of a little background of a feeling that like I needed to sit with. And that's where she came out of. So as we can see, it's obviously a figure. They're in a hood, a sweatshirt hood. We have these like really pretty spider lily type things going on in the left and the right. Really, I think this one speaks to this idea that like when you're in these stages of change, when you're very transitional, when there's a lot of things happening for you, things are very overwhelming. I took this one way back because actually she was really messy to begin with. And that was very reflective of my internal world. Like that was very much how I felt. Like I had this feeling that's on her face. And that's all I could feel. And it just felt like everything was textural. Everything was, separated. Nothing blended, right? Like, and that's kind of this idea in abstract anyway, is that we have this opportunity to have abstract thoughts that don't necessarily have a smooth transition, but they're present all the same. They create a full picture all the same. And I don't know, it's just kind of cool. But other than that, the other thing that's important to know about this guy is that essentially, even though we're in this stage of pre-contemplation, that we don't know what's going on, that we don't know what we need to change, we have roots growing. We have ideas, we have growth, we have beauty, we have consciousness, right, that is developing. We are raising our awareness, our vibration, so to speak. We are going through healing processes, and therefore elevating our own awareness to self, our own awareness to our environment, being able to create the life or even the idea of life that we seek. And so these beautiful little cherry blossom trees are showing us that those things are slowly manifesting, that those things are slowly being provided for, taking up space in our mind and in our environment as well. And as I showed you in this last one, up here, up top, there's kind of some like lines. There's some down here too. They kind of match, but they used to be pretty big. And I think to me, it was almost like I saw this guy, I did this other one on top to match, and it just felt like almost like a crown chakra, and that's very like spiritual and kind of woo-woo for some people. But to me, it felt like the same thing as this tree, right? Like, it's this idea that like we have energy in different parts of our body, and our brain is obviously one of our most vital organs. It is one of the organs that we have the most energy throughout. And so it's like this, it's almost like a web of consciousness. I don't know if that makes sense. But like specifically here on the shoulder, like that's what it made me think of. It's like this consciousness is like attaching to you, and whether you know it or not, it's there. And whether you acknowledge it or clean it or, I guess maintain it, you develop it, right? Whether you do those things or not, it's there. It's going to be present. And so this one up here being so clear and connected and tapped in, like it was, I think, more of me speaking to where I have come out of now that I see all of this messiness, now that I have taken 2 years since making this to kind of get out of that muck. Now I have this tapped in consciousness. Now I have this awareness. But as a reminder, we didn't have it then, right? So it's there, but we blocked her out a little bit. She's not clear. She's not a strong, cohesive bond. Instead, there's a haziness. There is a fog, I suppose, of darkness, of depth, of water that needs to be waded through in order for us to really clear and muck out that energy, for us to really clear out our intuition and our trauma responses and our learned beliefs that don't help us, so that we can be able to build that awareness and then be able to be tapped in that in a way that's true for us, that's genuine for us. So yeah, I thought she was pretty cool. She's definitely very like spiritual in my brain. And even like some of these like swirlies, I've decided that I'm gonna do a tag that's like this. I currently don't have like a tag for like me, my work, my name on things. And so I've kind of been trying to rework one for a really long time because I want it to look cool, but I don't want it to be like super blaring. So this little pink swirly guy, I think, is what we're going to end up going with. And because it matched so well, it fit just in it real nice. So that is this one. As always, you know, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want to hear. And I hope you have a good day.